Problem 4 is going to have several parts to it, so sit back, relax, get ready for a long problem. First thing, what they're asking us to do is to find the inverse. And so, step 1, find an inverse. If g of x is equal to 4 minus x minus 3 raised to the 1/3, I could write it like this. I could say y is equal to 4 minus x minus 3 to the 1/3. That would be my original function. I like to use this notation here, so that if I'm looking for the inverse, then I need to switch the x and y out and solve for y. Specifically, I'm saying that I can write this as x equals 4 minus y minus 3 to the 1/3. And then I want to solve that for y. And to solve it for y, I'll simply move the 4 over. This becomes x minus 4 equaling negative y minus 3 to the 1/3. I think I could multiply by negative 1 to get rid of the sign. If I multiply by negative 1, this could become negative x plus 4. Or you could write it as 4 minus x. All I'm doing is multiplying both sides by negative 1. And then this would become y minus 3 to the 1/3. Now I'm going to say again to make sure everybody followed. I multiply both sides of this red equation by negative 1. That produced negative x plus 4. I chose to write it as 4 minus x. Negative dropped out here. Next step, I'm going to want to cube both sides. As you cube both sides, this becomes 4 minus x, quantity cubed, equaling, now when you cube a cubed root, those would cancel out, and this just becomes y minus 3 to the first, which would be written as y minus 3. And then my last step is to move that 3 over. And so I could call this 4 minus x raised to the 3rd plus 3 is equal to y. That was the first step where I took this equation, this function, we assume it to be a function, and I took the notation here, said here's my original function. I wanted to do an inverse, so I switched out my x and y. The x's was swapped with the y, and vice versa. And so then what I had to do was solve this for y, get this all in terms of y. Now I'm going to do a second video where I show the next part, just so that everybody understands this is done in parts. Part 1, you want to take your original function and convert it into an inverse. Part 2 is coming.